Sagittarius, this is your August 2022 soul story. If you've got a sun rising or moon is in the sign, this is your reading. This is Romy. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune into my channel. We're going to give you some messages and astrological dates to look out for. And if you're a regular to the channel, just note the new format that we have for this month. So we're going to open up into Leo season with the energy of the Ten of Wands. Now this month has an overall feeling of a little bit like sink or swim, right? There's definitely some turbulence as we open up the month with the conjunction with Mars, Uranus and the North Node. It's vibrant, it's a little unpredictable, and there's this requirement to relinquish some control. You are showing up as somewhat determined to keep going on your current course of action. Now, that can be commended, but at the same time, if it's breaking you, if it's really causing some upheaval for you in mind, body and soul, then this is a month where the universe may well step in, especially at that beginning part of August, and I suppose bring a little bit of a rude awakening through. Now, what I want you to understand is that there is no right or wrong way forward at this moment in time, but you are going to feel a sudden urge to do something differently. Okay, now that Ten of Wands suggests that everything that you've invested, everything that you've put in up to this point, it still holds value, okay? It's not that we're discarding because we don't let go of the experience that's remaining within our energy field, that's continuing to help shape us. But one of the things that I'm really picking up for you this month is that there's this sensation of you feeling that someone is almost like taking advantage of you this month. And there's going to be a situation that arises at some point through the month where you're going to be invited to really break that down, okay? Because I suppose in some regards it's almost like a little bit of a spiritual test. We want to understand what's real. We want to understand what's projected. We want to understand what's yours and what's theirs by way of energy. What you need to disconnect from, and in some regards what you can glean from this situation by way of the story that has perhaps repetitively shown up for you over your lifetime, really, because there's like a turning point with it, yeah? And what it brings through is it's almost like connected into the universal laws, the spiritual laws. Everything has to be balanced out. There's always a cause and effect. And justice says it's time to balance this situation out. So it's almost like it gets brought right into the light. Now that can feel a bit uncomfortable. And again, a little bit turbulent. It may even feel that at some point through this month, you feel like you're having to make a sacrifice that you're unhappy or you're unwilling to, but you feel almost forced or backed into a corner to do so. But here we get to explore something new about ourselves. Now we're going to be welcoming in Lionsgate energy on the 8th of August. So powerful, where the Earth and the Sun align with Sirius in the galactic center. What does this really mean? Well, there are amazing new energetic downloads that are coming, and excuse me, you are absolutely up leveling. There is the opportunity for material manifestations to show up in extraordinary new ways, but for many that can feel like words. Yeah, where is the action? Where is the realization of that energy? Well, that's down to each individual, the soul work that you're doing on your path, and what is meant to be your experience this month is not what someone else's is supposed to be. So it doesn't always help to look outside of you to where somebody else sits in terms of what they're manifesting, what they are realizing, what they're seeing for themselves, and really take stock and try as much as you can to come back into your peace, into your center, and understand and take note of where your guides are leading you to the next step. You may feel at times like you're behind where you want to be, where you think you should be, or where you feel you are in comparison to somebody else. But it's not the case. It's a bit of an illusion. It's another storyline that's being almost mirrored back to you. Everything is a game here in some regards. And as we unplug from the programming, as we release ourselves from that old matrix energy, you do have to start to think for yourself differently. That critical thinking is everything for you this month. Now we're going to be approaching the full moon in Aquarius coming in on the 11th. We'll also see Venus shifting into fellow fire sign Leo, which will be a harmonious placement for you to work with. Now during that full moon in Aquarius, I have a sense that you almost have a state of paralysis over something, like a kind of bunny in the headlights type of energy. It's not going to last long, but it might derail you a little bit. What we're going to see is that as soon as you give yourself permission to just acknowledge that perhaps what you're feeling or thinking is a little bit illusionary and perhaps based on, old experiences or old ways of thinking, it will immediately dissipate. The star comes in to kind of soothe not only your nervous system, your thought forms, but also the path ahead. Now the star also links in really beautifully with one of the dates I want you to look out for, which is going to be on the 24th, where Venus trines Chiron. The same day Uranus is going to shift retrograde in Taurus. That's going to feel a bit bumpy, but this trine with Venus and Chiron brings about beautiful, sudden, spontaneous shifts, and especially where healing is concerned, where we've been dealing with some trauma wounds. So there's something really almost feeling like a reprieve, a sense of lightness, and giving you a new perspective on what you've been through and actually how you can use it. Use it in a way that either fosters a deeper connection with somebody else, or that perhaps is an opportunity for you to monetize creatively or to express yourself in some way, or even helps you to rearrange or reprioritize things in your life so that you feel you have more balance across the board. We also have a really beautiful date coming in on the 18th where Venus is going to trine with Jupiter, both in fire signs. Again, this is going to be a really auspicious date for you, Sagittarius. Kind of call it my love at first sight match, because it's almost like, yes, for some of you romantic, but it's that moment where something becomes clear to you. It's like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the thing I feel passionate about. This is what gets me really inspired. So if you've been feeling a little bit lackluster or kind of going round in circles trying to figure out the way forward, and remember, I do feel that there's a tremendous amount of indecision for you for some reason coming up through the course of this month. I think in some regards it's about you trying to keep yourself safe, but that Mars conjunct Uranus energy, it's about relinquishing control and the fight that we have, that's going on there. So it wouldn't surprise me if that indecision is really just masked as you sort of trying to dig your heels in and say, like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I know where I'm supposed to be going, but I'm not ready yet. And I don't want to give that up, or that sacrifice doesn't feel good to me. But it's in the sacrifice, it's what we're willing to let go of, that we actually kind of open the door to something quite extraordinary. Now that Page of Swords is coming in saying that be mindful of the words that you speak, but also take other people's words with a little bit of a pinch of salt this month. Like I said, if you feel someone's really taking advantage of you, they're here to kind of provoke and rile you. This can lead to an awful lot of frustrated energy coming up through August. And at the same time, we can have some real crazy dream state energies going on because there's so much clearance taking place that an awful lot has to come up to the surface. It's almost like our capacity to be able to deal with that in any given day, is finite. And so Spirit, work with us through the dream state to continue that process of clearing and transmuting. But it does mean that if you're really tuned in, that you can wake up and really feel a little bit upheavaled and in an anxious state about some of the things that you've experienced. Know that this is all about a clearance energy. At the same time, you are also going to continue to feel like beautiful, loving light transmissions coming in, and almost moments where you feel euphoric and so deeply peaceful and in an energy state that just knows everything is going to be okay. And I want you to remember those moments, because even if they're not consistent all the way through August, they will burn really brightly. And those are the things that you need to anchor into. Those are the situations you need to calibrate your energy towards. Now, the King of Cups is coming in here, water energy, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And what we're seeing here is that they're coming through with this sense of intentionality to guide you in the right direction. Okay, it's not only reflecting your own emotional, spiritual maturity right now, it's actually bringing in for me this really altruistic energy where I think in one breath, if you feel someone's taking advantage, you have this balanced up. Remember, I said the universal laws are really strongly in effect around your timeline this month. So what we experience then is someone else that comes in to balance that out again. And the more you recognize that, the more you become aware of it, the more that you state it and get intentional about it, the easier it is to actually perceive and become aware of it. It's there all the time, the balancing out of these laws. It's just that sometimes we become so fixated and caught up with the drama, the conflict, the unfairness, the energy of something that's really distracting us from what we should be and what we ought to be working around. So Mars is shifting into Gemini on the 20th. I want you to pay attention to this because in the next few weeks, Mars will be going retrograde in the sign. So things that we embark on, that we kick off, that have a green light around us through this month of August with this transit are going to get a revisitation, and there's going to be a slowing down to have to come back and review something. But right now it's giving you a real burst of energy with that Empress coming through. Now remember, that's going to be in your 7th house, so there's something important regarding relationships. You know, the help that surrounds you, not just romantic, professionally, platonically, within the family dynamic. So Empress suggests that you are in a strong position, not only to be quite generous with your time, energy and space because of, I think, the repriorities you're going to be making in August, but also to feel really good about, you know, what you're doing, what you're saying, where that position is that you're taking up. So I have some real nice energy supporting you, and I think again it's through this influence of the guide, the mentorship, the sort of almost placement of vision, like a new vision quest that's emerging from this King of Cups character. Now it may be male or female, it may not be a water sign, but they're certainly coming through with that very empathic, altruistic energy that's here to help you and to guide you. And it's about recognizing that you will always get what you need from a spiritual perspective. People will always show up to be able to support you at that moment in your soul path you are ready to learn something. They don't always show up in the role that we want them to, because sometimes it comes in a triggering way. But the more you recognize that and you identify this game that's unfolding in order to help you learn, develop and grow, the more capable and empowered you're going to become. As the sun shifts into Virgo, you get real serious about something, Sagittarius, but in a good way. And I feel like you can really make your mark somewhere as you move toward the end of the month and still give yourself time to get that balance that you need so much through your timeline at the moment. Okay, you're going to start to feel more secure, but you can't let anything stand in your way this month, okay? It's really important. Now, the new moon is going to come in on the 27th, right at the end of the month in Virgo. And I feel like what you set out, the story you set out for yourself during this time, not everyone's going to necessarily like really understand, but it doesn't matter because they will in time, okay? So you just need to be really clear with yourself. And by this time, I feel that indecision has cleared out. But remember, there's this sink or swim. So we normally do the 9-card block. We're going to continue this, but I'm actually going to do the reveal and the extended reading this month, Sagittarius. If you're new to the channel, you can find the link for that in the description, the comment section underneath. And it's a way for you to receive another 25 minutes of insights as well as just support my work on the channel. So I'm just going to pull your oracle cards now for the month of August. This is your astrology card. Okay, you have the 2nd house. Interesting. I'm going to give you that full message and download in the extended reading. Now here we have my new deck, Life Soul Vision Oracle. I'm sure you've had a sneak peek up to now if you've been a regular on the channel. You may even have ordered, and thank you so much. It's going to be coming out just toward the end of August, slight delay there. But if you've already placed an investment in it, I can't wait for you to start using the deck. So let's pull a card for you from Life Soul Vision. Vortex of Boundless Grace. Oh, beautiful. Looking forward to sharing that message with you. Now, we normally, and we will continue to do so, invite you to think about a personal question for this month that again we will dive into in the next read. So just put your focus around that just now for me. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and clarify this main reading. So starting out with that Ten of Wands. Oh, Ten of Swords coming in here. Now all the decks I use are listed in the comment in the description box underneath. High Priestess, nice. Justice comes in with the Four of Pentacles this month for you. And the Seven of Swords. See that balancing of trust needing to come in. Okay, we've got the Devil. There's that taking advantage of you individual, but Star coming through again. Lovely. Hermit. This is a really nice deck if you like the astrological links. It calls them out on each card. 310 showing up here in your reading. Interesting. Lovers. Another Page of Swords coming through here as well. You have a lot to say this month. Don't hold back. Judgment and Death. I don't do reversals, but that one flipped itself. Interesting. Okay. Alright, Sagittarius, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to connecting with you next time. And if you're joining me for the extended, we will continue this conversation there. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.